Using the stab knife properly is really quite easy. Hold the knife in the palm of your hand and curl your fingers around the handle. So you're holding it like you're going to stab something. That's why it's called the stab knife. So instead of a cutting motion, we will do a plunging motion into the surface of your wood. So I'm going to take the point of the stab knife and just plunge it into the wood to create the stab impression into the surface. That's all there is to it. Take it and push the stab knife down into the wood to create the impression. Let me show you a few designs and how you can use a stab knife to really touch those up. I've carved a couple of simple leaf patterns here. Now I can use the stab knife and really make these look finished and complete. See the difference? How about these two carved lines? Well, using the stab knife, let me show you what you can do with those. Two lines become a very nice wheat-like pattern. What about this design? It's a repeating pattern, very simple. Could be used on a box top or the sides of some container. Let's take the stab knife and add some real nice detail to it. Gives it a whole new look, doesn't it? Take another example, this positive image carved leaf pattern here. It looks finished, but watch the detail that's added when I use the stab knife at the end of the veins on each of this, on the leaf petals. Now it's really finished. And how about this leaf pattern here? Again, using our stab knife, we can touch that up very nicely. And finally, one use that I make use of on every carving that I do is I put my initials and the date on the carving, and I use my stab knife to add a little detail to my signature. Now, did you see how I rock that one down? I rock the handle down to make a longer stab impression. This top impression I won't rock down, so it's much shorter. And there I've taken my signature and added a star to the top of it. If I wanted to use a stab knife to make a cross, do the following. Put the big, wide part of your stab knife on the outside of each impression, using the same technique I did for the star, only turning my knife, stab knife, in the opposite direction. And there you have a cross rather than a star. So length of your stab impressions is determined by how much you rock down the back of the handle as you make your stab mark. You'll find that when you stab with the grain, it's much easier to make a long impression than it is stabbing across the grain. I'm sure you'll find plenty of great uses for your stab knife. Experiment a little bit, practice, and see what fun uses you can make of this great tool in your chip carving.